focus is also to ensure that each and everyone in Slang will have an opportunity to share the growth of the state. For that, we introduced a number of schemes in order to capture the population that matters to us. So one of the schemes that we have introduced is called Tabung Warisan Anak Slang. That is the funds for the children of the state of Slang. Where duduk mana? Kepong. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So so how many children you have? One child. Okay. Good. Okay. Oh, see.
It's really nice.
PRU Pilihan Raya yang ke-13, I think especially Parti Keadilan will be a lot more mature in its ability to choose the right people.
Do you think it's a loss to the party, Tan Sri?
We didn't cry. No, we are going to go through the lessons. See, I think we must be very disciplined as so-called political leaders or opinion leaders. Whatever we say is being monitored and being evaluated by public. Whatever we say, the newspaper will look at it as an idea or as an issue. Of course, as parliamentarians, we do have the responsibility to speak for the people. And that's why when you speak in parliament, you are also being sheltered from all the so-called legal responsibilities. But I have told Yang Berhormat Malika Wasata, the moment you make an allegation against somebody, that means you must be prepared to face the consequence of their retaliation. So I think let's go through the exercise.
Will these actions of YBB and what has happened to Malika Wasata tarnish the image of PKR?
No. I think we are going to be better. We are getting very mature. I think the issue of what is, I think I didn't say to you that I'm a very well experienced so-called politician, because the number of years I've been in real politics is quite short. But I do discuss with a lot of people who study the history of Malaysian politics. I think PAS has gone through their exercise many years ago. This is where a number of resignation, and they become much more mature as a result of that. DAP also has gone through. In fact, after 13 May, DAP has gone through a very, very what they call traveling times, where a number of their leaders has decided either to quit or to change. UMNO has gone into tremendous time, where even we have UMNO 1, UMNO 2, and God knows how many more. So that's also has gone through. MIC has gone through the turbulent times a bit continuously. So that's so then MCA is experiencing that. So if you're asking me that question, I'm now telling you that these are not abnormal in the Malaysian politics. So that's the way you ask. It is strange. No, it is not. But it's actually is on certain incident. Yes, it is. There. So it is. But I took it, and the leaders in Parti Keadilan took it very positively, because it is better for people to decide now. Because if you are going to another 1 year or 1.5 years, if you are going to go for the general election, we must be prepared to have people who are willing to stay and fight and dedicated to the cause. So it's a good thing for us. Of course, we wish we have selected better people in the earlier days, but that can be said about any party. The reason for this is not many people would want to join the Keadilan ticket during the last election. But today, let me assure you, there is a lot of competition to join the Keadilan ticket. So while people running away from this, and there is a lot more people willing to volunteer now to represent Parti Keadilan. So the loss of one, we gain 100. So the arithmetic is. So let me remind you the volatility of Malaysian politics.
Tan Sri, was there any attempt to reach out to?
Tiga yang dinamakan oleh Malika Basagar.
Apa figure?
Dari tiga orang di kumpulan semesta yang dinamakan Malika Basagar.
Tak apa, dia boleh namakan, because you have a right to name it, but you have a responsibility to these people. You have the right to name it. Dan dua cara kita buat. Saya telah menggalakkan saudara Malika Basagar supaya membuat laporan polis. But if you suspect a criminal act, you have to report, because that is a citizen's responsibility. But at the same time, he may want to give it to Badan Pencegah Rasuah, MACC. You want to give it to MACC. He can do it. But the state itself, because of, in order for the public to really know what's happening, so that the public should be aware, because of our attitude towards administration to be very transparent and very responsible, I have suggested to the speaker to set up CELCAT, it's called a public hearing, in order to discuss this subject. Because sand, let me tell you, this is about stealing of sand and also managing of operation, natural resource operation. If you ask me a question, when do people realize the stealing of sand? The answer is 20 years ago. So 20 years, it's not yesterday. When Parti Keadilan and I and my team, Pakatan Rakyat, enter as to administer the state, we know already there were rampant activities in the stealing of sand, and the state lost millions of dollars. And that's why we come out with a unit solely to ensure that to reduce this proliferation of the stealing of sand. So that we have done. But it is not an easy exercise. It's already become a permanent activity. So I'm not surprised that the previous government in Selangor tried to solve this problem. But because their members have become part of this activity, then I think they decided to sweep it under the carpet. But for Pakatan Rakyat, we we say is people's resource, and we have a responsibility to make sure that this will be stopped.